With Aberration nearing release, I want to cover things that you need to know about the map, its dinos and items. Aberration is the most unique map in Ark, set in a luscious cave with a variety of flora and fauna. Aberration is one of the most difficult maps, with no flyers and many threats lurking in the dark. The green zone is the safest of all zones, and where all spawn points are located. However, the green zone being the safest in no way means it's safe, as spinos, basilisks, ravagers, and carcinos spawn in large quantities. Most materials can be found here, but metal and oil are difficult to locate in this area. There are environmental hazards in certain mushrooms releasing spores that cause hallucination, suffocation, and unstoppable shitting. The blue zone is accessible through ramps from the green zone. A light pet is required in this zone due to the nameless hordes that will surround you relentlessly. Not bringing a light pet is a mistake you won't be able to undo, when a Reaper King unburrows from the ground and rips you to pieces. Metal is abundant in this zone, with most late game metal farms being done here, with ankylos or magma source from Genesis 1. From the blue zone you can access the red zone. The red zone is filled with radiation, so taking a hazard suit is a requirement. Without one, it will be seconds before you die. Certain teams can exist in this area without an issue, but most require mushroom soup to protect it. Here, rock drake eggs can be stolen, and Reaper Queens can be found to get you impregnated. The boss terminal is down here, and will likely be the last area you go to in Aberration. The surface is accessible from 3 points, and during the day it is not a place anyone can exist, burning you alive within seconds. During the night it is not much safer, with the Reaper Kings littering the surface. Oil spawns in a high amount here, being the place easiest to gather it. Drops also spawn here, and is where most players go on Aberration to get their gear. Bob's Tall Tale is getting its second release. Steampunk Ascent is set to come out with Aberration, including a new team, vehicle, skins, and a robot. Sir Fivermate is a robot that will reduce the amount of chores required around the base. It is said to repair structures, gather useful resources, and sort provisions. Depending on the implementation, this could be an invaluable asset to your playthrough. The repairing structures aspect likely will not be done quickly in a PvP scenario, so it won't make your base invincible. Its gathering rates will likely not be massive, so it won't completely remove the need for farming or taming creatures for farming, but allow for you to craft a few extra items without needing to go out farming. The sorting provisions ability could be very useful for those who cannot sort their bases out to save their lives. The blimp has not been discussed at all, being seen in only one piece of promo art for all of Bob's Tall Tales. This has been a point of discussion for the community, even thinking it won't be releasing with Aberration. This has been quoted, with devs confirming its presence in Aberration. It is just a bit larger than the player, being able to hold one in its underbelly. Whilst I personally do not like that it is on this map, which should have no flyers, if done well, it could prove a useful addition whilst not ruining Aberration's balancing. The Cosmo Spider is a shoulder pet being added, being able to attach to your wrist with multiple functions. It can snatch items up from the ground, allow you to slow down incoming enemies, and even swing around like a spider-themed superhero. It is also a light pet, having the ability to turn itself on or off depending on the situation. I personally do not like the swinging, as it could be too imbalanced for being paid content, but nevertheless, it is likely to be an incredibly useful tame to have in the depths of Aberration. There are skins that will be included for structures and armour, but these have not been fully showed off yet and will not affect balancing. They will have a steampunk theming. The Yi Ling is a competitor to the rock drake as an invaluable travelling mount, having a multitude of abilities. It can cling to walls, dodge attacks, and launch a volley of barbed feathers. The Yi Ling seems to be able to battle effectively with defensive and offensive capabilities, and wall climbing and gliding abilities for movement. If it is as fast as the rock drake, it could successfully change the meta for Aberration. Personally, I think the rock drake should maintain its spot at the top for travelling in Aberration, with the Yi Ling being a slower but more versatile option. Having its glide be similar to the recently added Gigantoraptor would balance it near perfectly. The Reaper is arguably the main creature for Aberration, having an incredibly unique taming method and being one of the most menacing creatures in Ark. It comes with the ability to ground flies using an acidic ball attack, whip its tail pushing off any medium-sized attackers, and has an 80% resistance to all damage unless in the presence of a light pet. It can bury itself, allowing for you to store valuable items safely underground. It has a large jump that can allow for fast travel. The rock drake is the main travelling mount, requiring an egg run down in the red zone to obtain one, a nameless venom to feed it as it grows up. It has the ability to climb walls, glide, and dash through the air incredibly quickly, with no other current creature native to Aberration being able to compete with its maneuverability. One ability that makes it unique is its ability to go invisible. Cloaking itself allows for incredible stealth capabilities. The basilisk is a large acid-spitting snake that can spawn in a variety of places. It is tamed by eggs, being passively fed to it by placing them on the ground. These eggs must be of a certain tier, but you are likely to use rock drake eggs as they are native to Aberration and you are likely to have a large amount of low levels after your egg runs. Like the Reaper, the basilisk can bury itself, but can also move around underground whilst being ridden. This drains oxygen, so bring an oxygen tank. The Carcanos is a massive crab that can be found across Aberration, requiring a knockout tame. It isn't a normal knockout though, requiring a cannon to make the large crustacean fall. If you do not have access to exceptional kibble, spoiled meat is the best item to tame the crab. Once tamed, it has claws that can pick up tames of a certain size, even being able to hold stegos. It can fling them about and smash them into the ground. Carcanos are very valuable during base defences, being able to remove circus from the fight. The Ravager is the raptor equivalent for Aberration, but having a bleed attack and being very fast. Running headfirst into a pack of these can often mean death to the unprepared. Taming one early game can provide incredible amounts of manoeuvrability, as they can climb natural and man-made zip lines. The glider is an item included with Aberration, allowing for players to glide from heights. This is incredibly useful in many situations, from the tech cave on the island to moving from a higher location in Aberration. The zipline is another valuable item in Aberration, allowing for traversal to tough to reach areas, and with the zipline motor allows you for moving both up and down. This has been useful for a variety of bases, but for most unofficial servers those locations are banned. The climbing picks are an incredible item added to Aberration, allowing for travelling up and down the cavernous walls, though it is often used to glitch into bases, base spots and under the mesh. Hopefully with Ascended this will be less common. The cliff platform is an incredibly useful structure, which I hope to see expanded upon with Ascended's upgraded building. They are useful on a lot of maps, not just Aberration, but a lot of base spots require this as a foundation. It is often used in large-scale spam that protects bases. Making the snap points, like the tree platforms from ASA, will make this an incredible structure for the map. Whilst there is more to discover about Aberration, what I've discussed here is a basic overview of the most important features. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment, and consider subscribing if you want more. Aberration is my favourite map, and exploring the depths of the cavern will be one of the most unique experiences Ark will offer.